Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Gus, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Gus's ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands, the correction and the motivations that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. We're using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and Fred keeps the bulk of that leash in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give any correction that we're going to give. And the only correction that we give here at school is a little tug and let go on his training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using, and he's going to come home with his very own training collar so that you can work with him at home. Now Gus is sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Gus heel, and at this point Gus has a job to do which he has desperately needed. And you notice that each time that Fred stops his feet, Gus sits automatically without being told, and he's totally focused on his trainer. He's got great focus. He looks up at Fred. He's in tune with him, in sync, not forging ahead, and sitting very nicely each time that Fred stops his feet. The next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. The long sit stay in basic obedience when you're practicing at home is for 1 minute, working up to 3 minutes. When Fred returns back to his dog, as an additional distraction, he will walk all the way around him, and Gus should remain seated until he gets another command. And Fred told him to heel again, and they take off walking. This makes walking your dog a pleasure. You're never being dragged. He's always focused on you. He's not focused on everything that's going on around him.
Stay.
Fred leaves him in another sit stay. And this time, instead of returning to him, he's going to call him. And Gus's job at this point is to come and sit in front of Fred. Not come bowling in and barrel you over. That is why we teach that recall that way, so that he comes in and sits right in front of you facing your knees. And that's how he gets the praise that he craves. Not by being a banshee. Fred leaves him in a sit stay, and he's going to call him again. Praises him on the way in. It's always a good thing when your dog comes to you, so you want to let him know that you're pleased with him. But don't rev him up too much. Now they're heeling out of that exercise, and the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is you're down from a heel position. So with your dog seated at your left, you take your open flat of your palm straight down toward the ground, and the one-word command to down and then stay. And the long down stay when you're practicing at home is for 3 to 5 minutes, and you can practice these exercises right in your home. You don't have to go outside. They should be incorporated into your everyday living situations. When Fred returns back to him, just as he did on the sit stay, he walks all the way around him, and Gus has been taught to remain lying down until he gets the next command. And Fred tells him again to heel. Very smart dog, just needed a job to do. Tells him to down, leaves him in a stay. And Gus is doing so perfectly that we're not really able to show you much in the way of correction, but I'm sure that when Rich brings him home to you, you'll get a chance to see how he's to be corrected. This time Fred's going to call him in, have him sit, excellent, and then back to heel position and back sitting. You always start and stop at heel position. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a distance. So with your dog seated at your left, you leave him in a stay. Walk out to the end of your training leash. This is the only time that you will see Fred use his right hand to give the command, and he drops him into a down with just a hand command. Perfectly done. Now we've demonstrated for you your basic commands. This is your heel, your automatic sit, your stay, your down from a distance, and your come on leash. We've been practicing some off-leash work, so we'll be right back to show you that.